The next topic of this chapter is flowchart. Okay, so just like as algorithm, flowchart is also used to provide a step-by-step procedure to solve any problem in computer. Okay, so there is one difference between a flowchart and algorithm. Algorithm provides the step-by-step procedure in simple English language. Okay, whereas flowchart provides that procedure in the form of graphics, or we can say this is the pictorial representation of this procedure. Okay, so that means we can also represent any algorithm by the help of flowchart. Okay, so that means flowchart is a pictorial representation of the steps or an algorithm which is used to solve a particular problem. Okay, so that means flowchart is a pictorial representation of any algorithm. Okay, the next topic is flowcharting. So flowcharting means the process of drawing a flowchart for an algorithm is known as flowcharting. Okay, so flowchart graphically represents the logic needed to solve a programming problem. Just as a picture is worth 1,000 words, similarly, a flowchart provides a much better way of solving a problem than writing a lot of descriptive text. Okay, I told you that flowchart is a pictorial representation of the procedure. Okay, so the flowchart uses different symbols to represent different type of instructions. Okay, so now in this table I will show you which type of symbols is used by the flowchart for which instruction. Okay, so here the first column is containing the symbols. Okay, so this is the symbol. Okay, the structure of symbol is like this. Okay, and the name of this symbol is start or stop box. Okay, so for starting and for the stopping the flowchart we will use this type of symbol. Okay, so this symbol is used in the beginning and ending of the flowchart. Okay, the second symbol is called input or output box. Okay, and this symbol or this box is used for accepting inputs or giving outputs of the program. Okay, the third box is processing box. Okay, and this box is used for writing the processing instructions and doing calculation. Okay, the next box is or next symbol is decision box or condition box. Okay, and this box is used for checking or applying any condition in the program. Okay, the next symbol is flow lines. Okay, and these flow lines show the direction in which the control of program is moving. Okay, these arrows are used to connect the various symbols in a flowchart. Okay, and the last symbol is in this table is connectors. Okay, and these connectors are used to connect one part of flowchart with another flowchart. Okay, so these are the symbols which are used to design the flowchart for any problem. Okay, the next topic is features of a flowchart. Okay, so a flowchart should have only one start and stop symbol. Okay, that means a flowchart cannot contain multiple start and stop symbol. Okay, the second feature is the general direction of flow in any flowchart should be from top to bottom or left to right. Okay, next feature is the flow lines should not cross each other. Okay, so whenever we are using flow lines in a flowchart, so these flow lines should not cross each other. Okay, feature is page connectors. Okay, So if your flowchart occupies more than one page, then page connectors should be used to direct the flow of information. Okay, so these are the some features of flowchart. Okay, next one is flowchart for calculation of the sum and difference of two numbers. Okay, so here in the screen we can see the first symbol is start symbol. Okay, so always whenever we are going to draw any flowchart, okay, so the first symbol in that flowchart will be start box. Okay, second one is input box is used here. Okay, so because we are going to perform sum and difference, so we need the inputs for this process. Okay, so input two numbers which are stored in variable a and b. Okay, and this information will be written inside the input box. Okay, the next box is process box. Okay, so here in the process box we are performing the sum operation, or we can say the sum process. Okay, so sum equal to a plus b, so the value of a and b will be added and that will be held by the sum variable. Okay, next one is again we are using the input output box, but this time this input output box will use for the output purpose. Okay, in previous this is used for input purpose, but this time it is used for output purpose. Okay, so here print sum, that means we are going to display the sum which is processed in this box. Okay, next one is again we are going to process the difference, so again that will be written inside the process box. So difference equal to a minus b, so this time again this difference will hold the value of a minus b, and again this output box will display the print difference, or we can say it will display the difference of these numbers. Okay, and after the displaying the uh, sum and difference, okay, we need to stop the flowchart. Okay, so the last symbol which is used in a flowchart will be stop box or stop symbol. Okay, so this is the flowchart which is used to calculate the sum and difference of two numbers. Okay, now I'm going to explain this flowchart, and the problem is find the greatest of two numbers. Okay, so we can see in this flowchart again the starting and last symbol of this flowchart are start and stop symbols. Okay, and here we can observe the second box is the input box. Okay, so because we are going to find out the greatest numbers in between two numbers. Okay, so here we need two inputs which are held by variable a and b, and this information will be written inside the input box. Okay, the next box is decision box. Okay, so I have already discussed about this. Whenever we are going to find out the greatest number between two numbers, so in that case we have three conditions. Okay, the first condition is if both numbers are equal. The second condition is if the first number is greater than second number, and the third condition is if the second number is greater than first number. Okay, so here in the decision box we are just comparing the values. Okay, so the first condition is a equal to b. Okay, so if this condition is true, then both numbers are equal, which is again present in the output box. Okay, so the output of this problem will be both numbers are equal, and then the control will move to the stop box, and the remaining operations will be finished. Okay, but if this condition is false, then the control will move towards this side, and again the second condition will be checked here. Okay, and what is that condition? Is a is greater than b. Okay, so if this is true condition, then A is greater, that will be output, and again the control will move to the stop box. Okay, but if the condition which is present in this decision box is false, then this uh, output box will be executed, and what is the information written inside it? B is greater. Then the result will be B is greater, and then the control will move to the stop box. Okay, so this is the flowchart of to find the greatest number between two numbers. Okay, next is advantages of a flowchart. Okay, so now I will discuss some benefits of a flowchart. The first one is communication. So the pictorial representation of the flowchart provides better communication. It is easier for the programmer to explain the logic of a program. The second advantage is effective analysis. So it is very useful technique, as flowchart is a pictorial representation that helps the programmer to analyze the problem in detail. Next one is efficient coding. So flowchart act as a roadmap for the programmers. So it gives a clear idea to the programmers to write a program. Okay, so that's why the programmer is able to write the efficient code. Next one is proper debugging. Okay, so first of all, just understand the meaning of bug. Bug means error. Okay, and the process by which the program becomes error free is called debugging. Okay, so using flowchart we can systematically detect, locate, and remove mistakes from a program. Okay, so these are some advantages of a flowchart. Okay, next topic is disadvantages of a flowchart. So the first disadvantage is complex logic. Okay, so sometimes a program logic is quite complicated. Okay, sometimes there are some programs, okay, and the logic of that program is complicated. So in that case a flowchart becomes complex. Okay, second disadvantage is alternation and modification. That means if alternation or are required, and we can say some modifications are required, okay, then flowchart may require a complete redrawing. Okay, so this is the second disadvantage of a flowchart. The next disadvantage of flowchart is reproduction. Okay, so that is to make the duplicate copy. So we cannot type the symbols of flowchart. So that means reproduction or to make a duplicate copy of flowchart becomes a problem. Okay, so these are some disadvantages of a flowchart. Okay, next topic is programming practice. Okay, so here I will explain algorithm as well as its flowchart. Okay, so the first problem is write a algorithm and make a flowchart to calculate the area of circle. Okay, so we all know that what is the formula of area of circle, that is pi into radius. Okay, so here in case of algorithm we need two inputs, one for radius and one for pi. Okay, so that's why we are using rad and pi, two variables for storing storing the inputs. Okay, so the first step is read the values and store them in RAD and PI. Okay, so here in the first step we are going to perform the input process. Okay, so here we have two inputs, one is RAD and the other one is PI. Okay, second step is compute area of circle equal to pi into RAD. Okay, so here by the help of formula we are calculating the area of circle. Okay, and the third step is print the value of area of circle, and in the third step we are going to show the area of circle. Okay, so this is the algorithm which is used to calculate the area of circle. Okay, and one more thing, start and stop steps are not included in this algorithm. So that means start and stop steps are optional in case of algorithm. The second column is containing flowchart of this algorithm. Okay, so here we can observe, first of all, the first box is here, that is start, and the last box is stop. Okay, so now the next one is input box is used here, and this input box is used for writing the information of inputs. Okay, so here we have two inputs which are radius and the value of pi. So that's why we are using rad variable and pi variable to store the values of radius and pi. Okay, next box is used here, processing box. Okay, and we all know that processing box is used for writing the processing instructions or calculation. Okay, so here we can see here area of circle equal to pi into rad. So this is the formula which is used to calculate the area of circle. Okay, and the next box is output box, and this output box is used to display the area of circle which is calculated in the processing box. Okay, last box is stop box. Okay, that indicate that this flowchart has ended here. Okay, so this is the flowchart of this algorithm which is used for calculation of area of circle. Okay, one more problem is there, that is write an algorithm and make a flowchart to check whether a number is even or not. Okay, and we all know that the number which is completely divided by 2 means whenever we are dividing any number by 2 and we are getting 0 as remainder, so that number is called even number. Okay, and if we are dividing any number by 2 and we are not getting 0 as a remainder, then that number is called odd number. Okay, so this is the algorithm which is used to check whether a number is even or not. Okay, so the first step is read num. Okay, so this step is used for input purpose. Okay, so num is the variable which will hold the number which we will input. Okay, second step is check if num percentile 2 is equal to 0. So here this is the condition. Okay, and the number is even or not, that depends on this condition. Okay, so here what is the condition? Num means the value which we will input. Okay, so that is num. Okay, percentile 2, so this percentile is used to check whether the remainder is 0 or not. Okay, so here whenever this condition is executed, okay, so we have, yeah, we will get the input sorry, the output as true or false. Okay, so if the remainder is 0, that means this condition is true, but if the remainder is not 0, that means the condition is false. Okay, so here in step 3, if true, that means if condition is true, then the given number is an even number will be the output. Okay, but if this condition is false, then the message or the output of this problem will be number is not even. Okay, and the second column is containing the flowchart of this algorithm. Okay, so here we can observe again, this is the start box. Okay, this is the beginning of the flowchart. Second box is input box. Okay, so here we will write the information about input. Okay, so input num. Okay, so num is the variable which will hold the number. Next box is decision box. Okay, so in the decision box we will write the condition. The condition is number percentile 2 is equal to 0. Okay, so if the condition is true, then the output of this flowchart will be the given number is an even number, and then the control will move to the stop box. Okay, but if this condition is false, then the control will move from here to false section. Okay, towards the false section, and the output box is displaying the information number is not even. Okay, and again the control will move to the stop box. Okay, so this is the flowchart of this algorithm. So students, this is the end of fourth chapter. I hope you understand it. Thanks for watching this video.